can't tell you how we really crossed the river, but we did, you know, and we made it home. And then when I reached home, I saw some slides around my house. My auntie house was on top of me, almost reach on my roof. My roof is full of slides right now, you know, and the place was just in a devastating situation. And then I went up by the road, going up to my granny, and then when I reached in the road, they start to tell me, this one died, Alex died, that one died, and I just stood under the rain for like 25 minutes, couldn't move, couldn't believe what really I hearing and what really going on, you know. I saying it was like a deja vu, it was like a nightmare, it was like a dream, you know what I mean? So I lose some of my families in the slide, my best friends, and one of the guys was my bass man because I'm an artist, musician, and one of the guys was playing bass for me, you know. He lose his life. And David Giss was he was shooting my videos for me for my music, and he also passed away. I mean, he also get swept by the river too because he was flaming the river, you know, because the river come down and, you know, everybody want to look at it and come around it, you know, not expecting it to burst its banks, you know what I mean. So they was all flaming, and all of a sudden the river just sweep them away, you know what I mean. And 19 people die up there, and I think they only get 5 bodies, you know, and 19 people for a small village, that's a lot, you know, and everybody in the village is one family, so everybody feel it one way or the other, you know. That's, up to now we cannot really find ourselves, you know. We just trying to be happy every day and trying to support one another and trying to stay firm, because it's a great loss for all of us in the village, you know, and it's going to be hard and difficult to adapt to anywhere they put us. Anywhere they put us, it's not going to be easy to be adopted to that area, you know, because PT7 is our roots, our culture, our spirit is there. So it's like, yo, life almost over for us in a sense, you know, but we just keeping each other strong every day. We up at the grammar school trying to stay as a community, you know, and being supportive to each other. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm glad that you touched on, you know, life in grammar school, but we'll get to that after.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Byron? What was your experience during?
Well, I have a lot of experience because I told you I was one of the part of the rescue team that 27th of August in that morning time there. I spent the whole day helping people, and so one of the things I have to say, and I will never ever forget, I don't think none of us from Petit 7 will ever forget that day, the 27th of August 2015. But one thing I will never ever forget apart from is when we went to rescue area they call Tom. The first body I saw was my cousin, Simon Laura. His mother is a baron, also a baron, so he's my close family, a cousin of mine. And well, that really hit me. And then like said a while ago that Dr. Kenneth Darrow was the head of the rescue team. So he told us, let's go and look for survivors. So we went by an area when we heard the message that a fella they call again, my good friend again, Cyrus Fontaine. That's my very, very good friend. We went to rescue him and took him to an area in Symptom to a place they call by Federline Peace until when they had to otherwise to take him to the hospital. And then from there we went up to a place they call Manto P, where we uplift one they call 16 Baron, which is my family again, and one they call, where is an Antoine, I believe. We were 3 of them, one they call Carl Thornton. Yes, 3 of them they uplift to go to the hospital. And then on our way back to where I talk about where we saw Simon Laura. Well, is there? Well, I really felt emotional. I had to burst in tears. We take out one they call Raphael Darrow, which is a fisherman and one of our best friends again from Petit 7. And when they call him the one for Bulbe. Jonathan, yes. And an ex-cousin of mine, which is a baron again, a young fella, he went to the Petrel Secondary School. Oh, And then when we take him out from that mud and so forth, the families, when they came to visit the bodies laying down on the road, oh, that was, yeah, I can never forget them. Honestly. Yes.
Yeah, and Royston, before we came on the radio, you were speaking about, you know, you had a little story of survival.
Oh yeah.
Could you share with our listeners?
Yeah. While we were in the area, surrounded by the river and the ravine is coming down very slow with landslides steadily, and the river is very rapid. So the river keeps getting closer and closer to the building. There's like 4 houses there, and everybody was in the center at the top. And there was an old lady lower down in a concrete house, half concrete, half wooden house, but she didn't want to move. She said she's safe. And the river got so strong, the river took half of the house. It took the whole wooden part and the roof of the concrete. So me and another guy, we rushed down there to see if they're okay. Luckily, they were in the corner room. That's the only room left. So we took them from there and brought them higher up. Now, while we're there, we could see there was like containers on the other side of the road filled with metal and stuff, and the river just carried that away like it was nothing. Even a big backhoe, like just lifted it. I've never seen a backhoe metal float like that in my life before. And it actually floated down the river. It wasn't even like the full force of the river, just the little water passing on the side, and just carried it away in the river and disappeared.
Wow.
So while we were there, there were like 6 of us fellas making rounds, you know, keeping everybody else calm inside the house. And then I would rest my hand on the stump of a tree, and I could feel 2 foams, like boom, boom. And as soon as I told the fellas I feel a foam, then I feel a foam under my feet as well. And that's when the biggest slide started coming down. So everybody ran in the house. And like within a minute of that, we heard a massive boom.
Wow.
And you could see like a vapor in the air. Now there was a piece of land that exploded above the house, but luckily it didn't come down straight. It went across to the river, and it came down. And we were the only 3 guys left outside. Everybody else was in the porch, and then I just hugged the other guy next to me, and the other guy at my back, he just hugged me. We cried. We said that is it. Either we stay there and we get crushed because we cannot go left, we can't go right, we cannot go down, and we definitely can't go up because that's where this light's coming from. So we decided one option we have is to jump the ravine. Because there's no way you can jump the river. One step you're gone. So we went down to try to jump the ravine, but we couldn't jump it. Any chance of jumping, you're gone. So we saw an electric wire, but luckily we didn't like electricity. So we took a cutlass, we cut the wire, and we said we're going to use it for rope. And we called to the guy on the other side of the ravine to see if he had a rope, but he didn't have a rope. So he made a rope out of sheets, like many different sheets to make a rope for us. So we went down to jump. So I tried to jump, my friend told me, no, don't jump, because it's too strong. So, but when I came back, he himself had jumped because it went down a little bit. And by the time he jumped, it came back up really high. So we had to use we didn't really want to use the sheets because it wasn't looking that strong to us, because some of the guys are heavy. So we used the electric wire to tie our waist, send it across to the guys, and the 2 guys on the other side, and we had to stay up a little height and jump on the other side of the ravine. Try not to land in the water. And as soon as your foot land, the guy would pull you. And you actually feel like, see when you jump, you actually feel the guys pulling you through the air. It's not just you jumping. The guys are pulling you through the air as you're going. Yeah, and then there were 3 of us. So when I was the last one to jump, then the other guys over there saw we made it, they came down, and then they themselves jumped. But now somebody had to keep a lookout for the ravine, because it's bringing down slides. So whenever the slides are coming down, the guys would run back and we would pull back the rope. Yeah, and that's how we made it.
Wow, that's a story.
Yes.
Okay, so after everything calmed down, the landslides stopped and the river subsided a bit. What was it like? Going into the village, seeing the rest of the place, hearing that this person has died, this person perished. What was like that for you? What was it like?
Well, when I left there, I had no idea that was happening in the rest of the village. When I ran home, I spied the right, passed by my window. Stick up with my window all the way down. One above and one on the other side. And when I look at Calva area, you could see slides everywhere. I mean, slides went down places like nobody would ever expect a slide to happen. Like we've had slides before, but this time, places a slide never happened, that's what happened.
What was moving after this was like seeing the dead bodies, some of the few dead bodies in the village. Some of them lay out for like almost 2 days without cover. Nobody went to cover the bodies, no rescue team went to cover the bodies. You know, that was disgusting to just no respect to have the dead just open in the village like that, you know, dogs around them and stuff, you know. So that was more moving again to even see the aftermath, you know, the way the rescue teams operated was unprofessional. The villagers had to take things into their own hand. If not, we would still be in PD7 suffering if it wasn't for the villagers. So I want to say thank you on that same breath to the Corriette family of PD7 and all those Allentown, Mahatma, and all those I left out, you know, cannot say all, but give thanks to certain amount of people that really push for that to happen, you know. It was a plus.
Right now they
in the rescue.
Right now they call him my hero, Monel Thomas.
Yeah, and his father Monel was a hero
Yes.
in all of that, you know. So yeah, and you know, we had the cooperative, the Bay Oil cooperative up there, factory that was swept off its feet, you know.
Yeah.
So from foundation, and even the river was about to dry because everybody was like, how the river gets so low? That was before that, you know, everybody feeling sorry for the river and stuff, you know. And then all of a sudden you have trucks disappearing in the river and you cannot see them.
Yeah.
That's how deep, that's how huge the river get, you know what I'm saying? So to me it wasn't just landslides and stuff, because rain by itself could have never caught all of that. We know what rain is, we know rain. To me that was a volcanic activity happened. To me it was a small explosion, and we was very, very, very blessed and spared to be spared. You know, none of us shouldn't really be there right now telling no story. But for the grace of the Most High, He gave us a warning, you know. So it was more than just slides and rain, you know. The rain contributed, yeah, but it was a quake because now it was a explosion. Because we have some hot waters in PD7. We never used to have no hot water up there before. Part of the river is hot. Some people have some warm streams close to their home. You could see volcanic lava a little bit in certain areas, and sulfur too in the river, you know, almost looking like the Boiling Lake area, certain areas in PD7. So definitely, to me, my experience in PD7, I born and grew in PD7, and rain to me wasn't only the problem of all of that. To me, there was an explosion.
Yeah, there were quakes, man. The whole place was shaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole place was shaking. Yeah, right now, if you go to PD7, you can recognize the place.
No.
Because after the slides came down, maybe like 3 hours after, me and a couple of friends, we had to see if all people were okay on the other side of the village. So we had to pass through the slides, like a really long line of slides. And we had to run through it. So basically what we did, we make 2 lines, two lines of feathers, one down and one up. So a certain line can't go any further, we met, and then we separate again. And we had like 15 guys, and only 6 of us made it because it was really, really rough.
Right.
And by the time we got to the top of the village, everybody had waist pain, chest pain, all kind of pain.
It's true.
And the people, everybody was curious to know what happened where, and this and that. So they were asking us, you know, is the distillery there, did it really go? And I myself had to pause and think. When they asked me, is the distillery there? Did it go? I had to stop and pause. Like, where was the distillery? I can't remember. I seen the distillery. I passed the area and it's like they had never had a distillery or any house or anything.
Right.
So it's only after a while when I thought about it, I said, no, it's not there, it's gone. So the place is completely changed.
True. So,
It's true.
like, people would say, like, maybe because, like, other times when landslide happened, people would be like, I need a wall there, or if I had a wall there, that would save me, or don't cut trees. You know, you don't have an excuse why that happened to say, like, some people cut trees in the mountain and the mountain come down. You know, that wasn't the problem. It wasn't a deforestation problem, you know what I mean? Places where people never touched for decades. You know, some people say the sun was hot before that, and then the rain fall and it cracked the soil and then cause all of that. But no, we have been getting hot sun and rain for the years, you know. But the certain areas, the tree's so big that area never see no sun. To say like the sun could have caused it with the rain, you know. It does. The mountain actually burst. Yeah. No slide is like certain mountains disappear. Half of mountains disappear. Even in the interior of PD7, the farming areas where most people didn't see, have more landslide, have more devastation than the village itself. I think the helicopter could see it from the air, you know, but majority of the people in the village didn't really see in the interior of Petit Savannah itself. It's more devastating than the village itself, you know, so that wasn't no easy landslide, no, too much. It had to be an explosion, you know, and a quake or something, you know.
Because,
yeah.
One of the slides from my area, you could actually see like a hole through the soil where water was gushing out. And there doesn't have a ravine in that area. The ravine is right on the other side. And you could see a hole through the slide where the water was gushing out. So it's not just the river. Like water burst all on the side.
The water was popping out and bursting the soil. It wasn't like just landsliding alone. Actual mountain was actually bursting.
Yeah,
the mountains can,
you know, like,
boom.
yeah, it was like a lion roaring in a place. Yeah. It's like sound does take the space where the mountain was. You know what I mean? Yeah, for real. It was an experience of a lifetime.
I believe some people still believe they are in a nightmare. Yes, a lot of people believe they're still in a nightmare. Yeah, I believe they need some form of counseling. Yes, for sure. And I would like to join hands with my brother Telemac, to thank so many people in the village that really work hard during the after the disaster, all the landslides and so forth. I would like to thank them, especially Dr. Darrow, which please, I believe I cannot explain how much he really assisted. Nurse Moines, Maria Moines, and Nurse Alexander. I believe they did a tremendous. Yeah, we cannot stop.
We don't have nobody really we can put our finger on to thank. You know,
Yes.
it was a collaboration
Yes,
effort. The
for
whole
sure,
village
yes.
really worked.
Exactly.
I never see the village so united. I was like, remember, my granny used to tell me stories about how the village used to be so united in her times. You know, and this was a great experience in a way to see how unity is strength. You know, because up to the rescue team, we would have still be left up there, you know. So like the experience even for the rescue teams to know that always be ready, always be prepared, you know. I don't know if they was waiting for something to happen to get prepared, you know, but we wasn't treated in a professional way. Who knows if they had tried to attempt to save a life? Who knows if a life could have been saved under these slides? You know, nobody. They was more scared in Petit Savannah to really get out of there. You know what I mean? So the Petit Savannah people, I have to say, my heart go out to each and every individual from Petit Savannah, you know, for making it happen, making the revolution, making the rescue happen, you know, and the evacuation happen and all of that.
Yeah, man, especially the Barbados Coast Guard.
The Barbados
Yes,
Coast Guard give
they
thanks.
did, yes,
Yeah.
thanks to the Barbados Coast Guard. They did a tremendous, well done. Yeah, let's go to them, yes.
We give thanks for everybody that
yes.
had our best of interest, you know. Yeah, man, and even give thanks to the government too for really
Yes.
putting us in a place. We give thanks, you know. I mean, you always thank critics amongst everything you do in life, but